Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Isabel and I am the Starlight Witch. This is a channel that I've created with the intention of doing readings to guide people. Okay, today we are going to look into the energy of this new moon in Virgo, and this is considered a black moon. That only means that we have 4 new moons in a whole season instead of the regular 3. So it doesn't have any particular astrological meaning, but it does mean that we get an extra opportunity for manifesting and for creating things and for making the changes that we want to implement in the Virgo area of our charts. So this is also going to be a really good one because the next new moon in Virgo is going to be on the same sign. Already in mid-September is also going to be an eclipse. And eclipses actually bring a little bit of disruption with them. So this is our opportunity of creating something, sparking that new beginning in the Virgo area of our chart that will not be disrupted by the eclipses of next month. Okay, so I want to start by having a look at the general energy for the next 2 weeks. Okay, and then after that, I want to get very specific and look into the different houses of the zodiac and where does this new moon fall into the chart. So stay tuned for that. You're going to need to know your rising sign. Okay, if you do not know your rising sign, you can always look into your sun sign, but the rising sign will always be a lot more accurate. Okay, that being said, please keep in mind that these are general readings, not made for any specific person, but for the collective. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay? So let's have a look at the general energies of this new moon in Virgo for the next 2 weeks. Okay, so we have 3 majors. So the next 2 weeks, if we use them well, can be really, really good to help us set the stage. Okay, set the stage for something better. Okay, because we have the Sun card here, which is all about happiness, is all about following our bliss, following our joys, following the things that bring us happiness, right? But it also exposes things, it brings things to light. So the energy here is of realization. The energy is for us to finally see the things that we need to shed, whether they be um, whether they be physical things, people in our lives, um, behaviors, beliefs, patterns, especially because this new moon is in Virgo, and Virgo is, in general terms, the ruler of the sixth house, and the sixth house is the house of health, of work, of daily routines, of what we do every day in our lives. This is a moment to really make very necessary changes to course correct. Okay, we are being called here to make very necessary changes. We need to let things go here. Okay, it's all for our benefit, it's all for our happiness, it's all for our betterment, both in personal and collective levels. We are getting a call that we cannot ignore. We need to follow those urges, we need to follow those instincts, we need to listen to ourselves and finally shed some layers. Okay, we need to shed beliefs, we need to shed behaviors, patterns, ways of thinking, everything that is getting in the way of our happiness. These 2 weeks are going to be absolutely fantastic for making those changes. We start to realize the sun brings to light all the things that we need to change. We start to realize that those changes are unavoidable, that they are needed, they are completely necessary. Without them, we cannot move forward. And so we let them go. Okay, we shed those parts of ourselves. We shed those behaviors, those patterns, those things. It's time to let them go. Okay, this is the general energy of what this new moon brings, and I'm pretty sure that these will be exalted in the next new moon in Virgo as well, with the eclipses that might bring disruption. So, this is the best time to start making those changes, um, to start taking those steps by ourselves without the chaos that the eclipses will bring. Okay, this is the time for us to start working on these things before the universe kicks us in that direction, if you know what I mean. So please keep this in mind and use these next 2 weeks wisely. Okay? It's time to make very necessary and drastic changes in our lives. All of these cards are majors. So this is definitely a step in the right direction, and it is going to be important for us going forward. Okay, so now I would like to take a look at where this new moon will be affecting us a little bit more specifically. Because, yes, it's a new moon, so it's new beginnings, it's setting intentions, it's all the good stuff, right? But where these changes are necessary or best implemented is going to change for each of us depending on where this moon falls in our charts. Okay, and this is the moment where you need to know your rising sign. If you do not know your rising sign, you can go with your sun sign, but all you need is to know your date, place, and time of birth. Okay, there are many websites like astro.com where you can check your rising sign if you have this information, and it could be completely free. All right, so let's have a little look at the different houses, the different areas where these new beginnings can take place for people. If you are a Libra rising or a Libra sun, in case you don't know your rising, this new moon in Virgo falls in your 12th house. This is the house of karma, of shadow, of secrets, and of your internal self. So let's have a little look at this new beginning, this door that is opening up for you in this area of your life. So, what I'm sensing here is that you have a deep desire for a new beginning. You want to build a new reality, go down a new path, something that makes you feel excited. Perhaps you have been feeling very stagnant in your life and you are in definite need of a shift, of a change. You want to bring more excitement, you want to bring adventure, you want to bring something that makes you feel alive. This is definitely something that you want to create a new reality. With the King of Wands, I see this as something that you want to make part of your everyday life rather than something that is just momentarily. With the Two of Swords here, this can manifest as either one of two things. The first one is that you are not sure of whether or not this is something that you want to do or that you can do. You are feeling unsure, or are feeling like you need to plan more, you need to research more, you need to gather more resources, to gather more information. That this is something that still needs more development, that you are not quite ready yet to make it happen. But there is an evolution here because the desire is there, and these are the baby steps that will have you going down that road. Maybe the indecision here is what's stopping you from getting there, but the king is on the other side, and the king is taking charge. The king is when you make that decision and don't turn back. You already know what it is that you want. You already know what you want from it. So it's all about doing the thing and getting there. The other way that the Two of Swords is showing up here is the need to block out external influences. Okay, so whatever this shift is, there is a pretty good chance that you may have people around you telling you, don't do the thing. This is not going to be good for you, or this is not what you really want, or any of those things. And the truth is that this is your 12th house. So, this is the house of your innermost self, of the things that you don't share with others, of the things that lie within your subconscious. So, this is definitely something that comes from you. This is definitely something that you know you want. So you need to block out those external influences that might be affecting you in order to decide to make the change, to take charge, to do the thing, right? If that thing that you need to block out is actually uh, your fears, your insecurities, behaviors, patterns, limiting beliefs, and things, because all of these type of stuff is definitely ingrained in our subconscious, is definitely ingrained in those darkest, deepest parts of ourselves. So maybe you need to deal with those before you can actually take charge, before you can do the thing, right? There is a shift here that needs to happen. And I really believe that the key to this shift is here in the Two of Swords. There is something that you need to block out, to go from here to here, to bring this shift, this new venture, this excitement, this adventure, this interesting energy into your life. You need to go through this bit. This is where the shift needs to happen. And this is the opportunity. This new moon in Virgo is the opportunity to trigger this shift, okay? To tackle whatever it is that's stopping you here, that's keeping you stuck with the Two of Swords. This is your opportunity to tackle this beast. So let's get you some advice. Breathe. Inhale, exhale, create a space within. And we have mystery, secrets, and hidden meanings. Okay. Well, yeah, this is definitely the house of mystery. It is the house of secrets. and hidden everything. So this is definitely telling me that there is something within your subconscious that you need to dig out. Okay? Whatever here that it's blocking you, it's most certainly within your subconscious. And this is definitely something that you are not aware of. So you need to bring this thing to light. This new moon might be a perfect opportunity for you to start doing some journaling, for you to start looking beliefs, into the things that trigger you, okay? Into your fears, into whatever it is that is giving you anxiety or that is making you doubt yourself or that is making you stop here. It is time to start bringing these things to light. Whatever it is hidden within your subconscious, it's time to bring it to light. So definitely journaling. Yeah, definitely journaling for you. This is an activity that you should definitely do. And of course, you have breathe, inhale, exhale, create a space within. Yeah, the answers are within, which is something that we already saw within the Two of Swords. Okay, this is about blocking out external influences. That is not even a word. Exterior. Ugh. Um, yeah, this is about blocking external influences and going within, and doing so in a gentle way. Okay, because if we are very honest with ourselves, going within is not exactly easy. Being self aware is not exactly nice sometimes when we see our mistakes, when we face our fears, when we have a look at our limitations and our beliefs and all of these things. This is not exactly a nice experience. So be gentle with yourself, give yourself time. This is not something that has to happen overnight. This is definitely a process that could take some time, but whatever it is stopping you here, the answers are within, and it's definitely something that you are not aware of. Okay, there is a subconscious block there that you need to bring to the light. Surrender to rest and sleep. To prevent burnout, slow down. Honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. Yeah, this basically tells me what we've been talking about. This is something that you need to do calmly, that you need to give yourself some space. And if you have been go, go, go all the time, then this is also part of the shift that you need to make on your life. It is time for you to take a little bit of rest. And with having rest and sleep here and everything happening in your house of the subconscious, then definitely keep a journal on your dreams. Definitely try to find the hidden meanings in the things that go around in your head when you are not controlling your thoughts, when you are not in charge of the movie that plays up in there. So keep a journal. Try to remember your dreams, and I'm pretty sure that you are going to find a lot of the answers that you are looking for in there. This is definitely a tool to help you find those answers, to help you find those blockages. Okay? So I hope that this brought you something of value. Please take what resonates and leave out the rest. If you're a Scorpio rising or a Scorpio sun, if you don't know your rising sign, this new moon in Virgo falls in your 11th house, which is the house of collaborations, friendships, memberships, and network. So let's have a little look at the doors opening up for you in this area of your life. It looks like you've been having a hard time with your friendships, with your communities, right? With your network. We have the Five of Swords, which is a card of deception, of trying to win at all cost. The Nine of Wands tells me that you are basically so tired. You are holding on onto your last straw. This is your final outpost. You are tired, you are worse for wear, you are done with these people, with their lies, with their things. You are not feeling okay here within your group of friends, within the people around you, your network, right? The keyword here being security tells me that this is what you need. You are trying to start striving for a community in which you feel safe, right? You want to feel safe and secure in your relationships, in your friendships, in the people that surround you at all times, right? And the High Priestess is telling me that there's a lot of secrets here involved. There are many things that have been kept from you or that you are keeping from others, and this is definitely hurting your relationships here. It might also be that your intuition has been telling you, has been warning you about certain people, about their lack of honesty and their true intentions here. Let me shuffle a little bit more here because this is a lot of conflict. And I want to see how we can turn these around. At the end of the day, new moons are new beginnings, new opportunities. So if we want to leave these behind, how do we turn these around? How do we create that sense of security in your community, in your network, in your friendships? How do we do this? Well, the tarot is insisting on pointing out all the conflicts, okay? The Knight of Cups basically tells me that you have been approaching these people, these relationships with your heart on your sleeve, and then we have the Three of Swords, which is telling me that it all has ended up badly. This has not been very good for you. So let's get a different deck. Let's get advice on a different deck because this is all what you, I hope, are trying to leave behind, right? So, how do we turn these around? How do we create that sense of security here? Yeah, with these two cards coming up as the how do we turn these around is also telling me that you might be the one who has been keeping secrets, and maybe that heartbreak could be avoided with you being honest, with you sharing your emotions with your people, with telling them how you feel, being open and honest with them, and expressing your emotions. If you have been going through hardships, then this is the moment to reach out to your people. Tell someone that you are having a hard time. If you need help, ask for help. And if all you need is a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen, then let them know. Because at the end of the day, we are all basically living in our own little bubbles. So I'm definitely getting the sense that you are the one that needs to open up to the people that you have in your life. And let's be honest, that Scorpio Rising, you are probably someone trying to bury your feelings deep down instead of expressing them. So If you already have a group of people in your life that you feel safe and secure with, then give them the chance to be there for you. Guidance. You are divinely guided, and we have the moon. Subconscious mind, feminine intuition. Okay. So we have another card here that reinforces the sense of intuition here, because that is basically what the high priestess means for the most part, is listening to your intuition. So if there is any part of you, anything on your mind that's been warning you about anyone in your friend circle, in your network, in your chosen family, right? Then it is time to listen to that voice. It is time to listen to those warnings, because it's going to end up in heartbreak if you don't. Okay, so if you are questioning the true intentions of someone, it's time to put the cards on the table and discuss this. Okay, these cards definitely look harsh for a new beginning, but sometimes our relationships go through turmoil, you know? Not everything is rainbows and unicorns. It is completely normal for all kinds of relationships to go through hard times. And it looks to me like this is a time to have some serious, deep conversations, difficult conversations, because I cannot imagine any of this being easy. But there is a need here to be open and honest about your emotions, and to listen to that voice inside your head that tells you about those people, because it's coming from your guides, it's coming from your ancestors, from your angels, from your guides, from whatever form of divinity that you believe in. This is coming from them, okay? And they want you to be okay, and they want you to be surrounded by people that make you feel safe and secure. Okay, they want you to have this sense of security, of feeling safe in your network with your people, and this is the opportunity to do so. If you have found yourself in a toxic environment, if you are doubting the true intentions of your people, this is the time to start having those difficult conversations. Okay, if you have been the one keeping secrets, be open and honest with your emotions. I really feel like that is going to save you some heartbreak. As your last bit of advice, we have surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Now, with these being related to your 11th house, your house of friendships, your network, the people that you surround yourself with, this tells me that you need to let go of the outcome of previous relationships. Okay, so if in the past you were betrayed by a friend, if you were told that you were not a good friend, if you were told that you were not reliable, or if you have been rejected by someone that was important to you, if you had issues, trust issues with people, there is a great opportunity here for you to start rewriting that story. If you were the one that made mistakes in the past, it's time to forgive yourself and give yourself the opportunity of starting over. The people who hurt you in the past are probably not the same people that you are dealing with right now. And if it was you that hurt someone else in the past, then you have the capacity to change. We all do. If you choose to change your behaviors, whatever happened in the past doesn't have to repeat itself. Whatever stories you've been telling yourself that are affecting your friendships and your relationships, let this new moon be the time when you decide to change it. This is the perfect opportunity to start rewriting your story and to decide who do you want to be in your relationships going forward. Okay? So let whatever happened in the past be in the past and give yourself the opportunity to start anew with your people. Okay? If you are a Sagittarius rising or a Sagittarius sun, in case you don't know your rising sign, this new moon in Virgo falls into your 10th house, the house of career, public life, and reputation, what you are known for. So let's have a look at the new opportunities opening up for you in this area of your life. This is an opportunity for you to take charge and be more confident in yourself, okay? This is all about authenticity. The King of Wands is a confident leader, okay? They step up to the plate, they always have a plan, and they are very supportive and motivational of the people that work with them or for them. So, this is an opportunity for you to step up into a leadership role. And considering that this is about also your public life and reputation, these may also put you in a position where you will be very recognized. Okay, where you will definitely be in the spotlight here. And considering that this is the King of Wands, and that you are also the adventurous Sagittarius rising, this might be a position that you find yourself comfortable in. Okay, it feels very authentic to you. But also, I can see here that this new position might find you in a place where you will have to stand up for yourself, to defend yourself, and probably your decisions from others. And I would say that there is also the need to keep some things to yourself and not just your resources, okay? But let's also remember that time and attention are also resources. Your energy is a resource. It's not just about money, but time, energy, attention, these are all resources. Okay, so make sure that you have some things that are just for yourself. Okay, so even though you are going to find a lot of opportunities to step up to a bigger position, perhaps even leadership, these might be a time where you get a promotion, receive recognition from others. Okay, there is the need to protect yourself. Okay, you will have to protect yourself and keep some things to yourself. Okay, so make sure that even though you might be in the public eye, to call that somehow, okay, this is not necessarily that you will become a public figure, but you will be probably under scrutiny. There will be a lot of people looking up to you, or looking at you in general, right? You may find yourself under a lot of attention, receiving a lot of attention. Okay, you need to set boundaries. Okay, boundaries will be necessary, strong, powerful boundaries, and keeping some things to yourself. If you want a promotion at work, or if you want to do something new, bolder, bigger with your career, something that feels very authentic to you, this new moon is the perfect opportunity to get started with that. Okay, first we have trust, faith in the power of the universe. All right. And then we have freedom, spread your wings. Sorry. Trust is not just about having faith in the universe, but also having faith in yourself, in your own abilities, and in everything that you are doing. Okay, you have to trust that whatever you are is enough, that whatever you're doing is enough, and that everything will work out for the best. I love that we have freedom here. Finding yourself in a bigger, better position might give you that freedom. It might give you room to be more authentic in whatever it is that you're doing. And you know what? There is a pretty good chance that these might, like, instead of bringing you into a position of public scrutiny, you might be removing yourself from this position if you are in one. Because this is also about your public life. So if you find yourself in a position where you get a lot of scrutiny from a lot of people, this might be yourself removing yourself from that position, and that is going to give you freedom. Yeah, I can see it better now. Definitely. It's not about stepping down, sorry. It's not about stepping down. It's about setting clear boundaries and perhaps removing yourself from being available constantly to a group of people. Being out of the public eye, being out of this space of scrutiny is going to give you a lot more room to be authentically yourself, and it's definitely going to give you a lot of freedom. So I can see you stepping back from, perhaps social media has a lot to do with this. If your job, if your career has something to do with social media, you might be stepping down a little bit from this. And I think that you need to trust that what you're doing is the right thing for yourself, that this step that you're taking is what you are meant to do. Whatever you find yourself stepping up into a more public role, into a bigger role, or stepping down from public spaces, public environments, social media, just remember to set healthy boundaries and to keep things for yourself. Okay. Then we have surrender to the wisdom of your body. Listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. There it is. This is what we talked about, of setting boundaries, okay? Boundaries that not only have to do with your financial resources, but with time, energy, attention, okay? These are resources as well. So set boundaries. If your body, if your intuition is telling you to stop, to put a barrier here, to set a boundary, draw a line, then listen to it. Okay, this is going to allow you to live more authentically and, of course, to take better care of yourself, because this is about doing the right thing for yourself. This is a step in the right direction. So, I love this for you. I think this is awesome. If you are a Capricorn rising or a Capricorn sun, in case you don't know your rising sign, then this new moon in Virgo falls in your ninth house of philosophy, spirituality, knowledge, and travel. This is also the house of travel. So let's have a look at the new opportunities opening up for you in this area of your life. we start with achievement over here. It might be that you find yourself going back to school, whether it is for a new career, or maybe you are going deeper into your studies, like getting a master's, getting a PhD, or maybe you're just updating your knowledge. Technology has been changing a lot over the last decade, so it might be that you just need a little actualization on software or something like that. But I can definitely see you going back to school for something, doing a course, something to upgrade your knowledge. And it seems very clear to me here that you have to strike a balance between work and studies. It might also be that you will be a mentor for someone, not necessarily the student, but rather the teacher instead. So that might also be a little change of roles in here. But this new opportunity that's opening up for you is definitely a step forward. You're going bigger, going higher, you're going for it. But I can definitely see the need to strike a balance between work and studies, between the things that you need to do to pay the bills and the things that bring you more knowledge. The Hierophant here is also the card of spirituality. So it might be that if you are not pursuing studies or going back to school, then you are definitely going in for a spiritual connection. This might be a new faith. Okay, you could be looking into a different type of faith, a different religion, a different something. Or it could be that you decide to go deeper in whichever form of spirituality that you currently pursue. So you definitely need to strike a balance here between the everyday life, the material world, and the spiritual world. You need to live your life normally, but also make space for spirituality, for connection. And it might not be the easiest thing to do. The Hierophant here is a major. So I can see that the pull here is strong, whether it is the pursuit of knowledge or the pursuit of connection and spirituality, but it's a very, very strong call that you might be feeling at this moment. And if this is a spirituality, I can see this very being very unusual for you, Capricorn Rising, but you need to hit the call. So these can play out in one of two ways: the pursuit of higher education, of going deeper into your studies, or tra- um, training for a different career, maybe updating the knowledge that you have on your current one, or the pursuit of a spirituality. But the card of achievement here, as well as the King of Pentacles, tells me that you have within you whatever you need to balance out your work and your studies, or your regular day to day life with your pursuit for spirituality. Both of these cards tell me that you have what it takes to be successful at this. Yeah. So we have dream, build castles in the sky, and caution, keep your guard up. Okay. These two cards next to each other are basically telling me be careful not to aim too high. Okay, be careful not to try too much, not to take on too much, okay? Because you already have a lot on your plate. Okay, you are already a provider. We have these here. If you are here, then you are over 18 years old, because I don't really make content for children. You definitely need to provide for yourself. You need to work. You need to do what all of us adults need to do, right? Because it's so fun being an adult. And especially if you are pursuing higher education or continued education, that is definitely enough of an effort, enough of a burden already. So these two cards together are definitely telling me, be cautious of not aiming too high, not taking too much. Okay, you have enough on your plate already. What you're doing is already an achievement, okay? So try not to overdo it. Please don't take whatever is not completely necessary for you to carry. Okay? And then we have surrender to miracles. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. What this basically tells me is that there will be moments where you will feel unable to go on, where you will feel like the burden is a lot, like it might not necessarily be possible for you to pull these off, to strike this balance over here. And the card Surrender to Miracle says that you can, that you most definitely can. You can even aim high, just be careful. Sorry. Just be careful that is not too much, okay? But you can do this. You can get there, okay? You have the card of achievement here. Don't doubt yourself. You can do it. And even when it doesn't feel like you'll get there, I promise you that you will. You just have to keep going, okay? Whatever this is, you got this. If you are an Aquarius rising or an Aquarius sun, in case you don't know your rising, then this new moon in Virgo falls in your 8th house. This is the house of metamorphosis, death, rebirth, and it's known as the house of taboo. It is the house of joint finances, also sex, and all things that are considered taboo. So let's see what new opportunities are opening up for you in this area of your life. Well, Aquarius Rising, the Ten of Pentacles here tells me that this is related to those resources that we were talking about, okay? The 8th house is the house of other people's money or joint resources, right? It's also a house that talks about inheritance, okay, and windfalls, but especially inheritance. So it might be that something happens around this new moon that gives you the opportunity of receiving a good amount of money, okay? Because this is the 10 of Pentacles. So this is not like a little bit of money, this is a lot of money. So you might find yourself in the receiving end of an inheritance, or maybe it is a loan, a grant, or something that comes from other people, okay? But there is an opportunity here of receiving a good amount of abundance, okay? The card of adventure here tells me that you might want to use these resources to overtake a big project. These being the house of transformation, it might be that you want to remodel a house, renovate your home. But this has all the makings of a big undertaking, okay? With the High Priestess, I can see that there might be a number of things that are hidden here that are not on plain sight, okay? Whatever it is that you're undertaking, please be sure to read everything carefully. Look for the small print and listen to your intuition. If you ever hear a warning coming from within, please listen to it. Because with the Nine of Wands also present, this might end up being a lot, being too much, more than you can handle, okay? Or almost more than you can handle, because in the Nine of Wands, they're still standing there. You know, they're worse for wear and probably wanting to give up, but they're still standing. There is a lot of resilience there, and of course, it's the card of giving a last push. Whatever this adventure that you're undertaking, try to be careful so it doesn't end up being too much. With the High Priestess present, and considering that this windfall will definitely come from other people, you definitely need to use your discernment, okay? Be careful of those that approach you. Be careful. Be careful of your relationships, okay? Because there is nothing that ruins relationships faster and more definitively. Is that a word? Well, what I'm trying to say is that money is by far one of the biggest reasons that relationships go awry. We see entire families fighting over inheritances all the time, okay? So please be careful with these kind of stuff. Use your discernment and listen to your intuition so you don't find yourself particularly worse for wear, okay? Okay, so we have create, nurture your creative energy, and then we have the moon, subconscious mind, feminine, and intuition. So we have a card here that reinforces intuition, because that is basically the main meaning of the High Priestess. It's intuition. That inner voice will have a lot to say during this time, and the best thing that you can do for yourself is to listen to it. And I love that we also have create here with nurture your creative energy. I really do have the feeling that with the card of adventure here, and these being the house of death and rebirth, there is a big project, a big creative project that you want to undertake here. This card is definitely a sign that says go for it, do it, and enjoy the process as well, you know, because this is going to be really good for your inner child. This is going to be really good for that part of you that wants to play, needs to play, or for stoking the fire within, which are all things that are very important. You definitely will have the resources for that, but really listen to yourself, listen to your intuition on the best ways to use those resources, and the people that you let close to you during this time. Okay, so we have surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. I feel like this has a lot to do with how that money gets to you. It might be that getting that grant, getting that funding, or maybe even getting that inheritance is not going to be easy work, especially when it comes to grants, when it comes to loans and things like that. You may have to compete with others for a place in a particular program, in a particular situation, you know? This money could even come as a prize in a competition, for example. So, definitely, this is about doing whatever it is that you need to do and then trusting that it is enough. You did what you could, and now you release. You put your best efforts into it. You listened to your intuition and followed where it guided you. You really gave it 110% because you're tired. You're worse for wear here. So after you've done everything you can, trust that it is enough. And I do have a feeling that you will be successful in this endeavor. If you are a Pisces rising or a Pisces sun, in case you don't know your rising sign, then this new moon in Virgo falls in your seventh house of partnerships, balance, and one on one relationships. This actually is the house of all long term relationships. So it's about business partners. Oops. This is not just about marriage or romantic relationships, but it is also about business partners or associates, and just long term relationships in general. So let's have a look at the new opportunities opening up for you in this area of your life. Well, Pisces rising, this is definitely interesting. You have the card of faith at the beginning and also the star. The star, besides being the card of hope, is also a card of faith. So, this right here is actually a double whammy of faith. With the Eight of Wands, there is definitely a lot of movement within your long term relationships. These might be that you are moving quickly in a relationship, like if you have just started dating, then you can move in together. Or maybe you get engaged only a few months after you started dating. Or maybe you got engaged and instead of having a long engagement, you move very quickly onto marriage. But there is definitely something that it's moving quickly. And even though the Four of Swords is generally speaking a card of rest, in this case, what I'm hearing is peace of mind. So, whatever changes that you might be implementing here, whatever is this thing that you're moving towards, you're doing it with a lot of faith that this will bring you peace of mind within your relationships, of course. But the goal here is to bring you peace of mind. With faith and the star at the beginning, these might be a relationship, a partner that you have prayed for, that you have asked the universe for, or whichever form of the divine that you believe in. These might be the answer to your prayers. And even if this might be the case, try to be a little careful of not going too fast, okay? Because again, the Four of Swords is a card of rest, so if you're going too fast, this might meet with a hard stop, okay? Be careful with that, but I definitely see some positivity here. The answer to your prayers, having faith, having stayed true to that vision, to yourself, to your standards as well. You get that answer. Just try not to move far too quickly so It brings you peace of mind instead of meeting with a hard stop, okay? It could also represent a break after a lot of movement in your personal life, in your relationships, after a lot of action. You find yourself with time to rest. So that Four of Swords may also represent a respite after a period of a lot of activity in your relationships. Like if you were planning a wedding, then goes the flurry of the wedding here, and then you find yourself with that spare time to enjoy being married, to enjoy being in your relationship, for example. Or if you're trying to launch a business with a partner, the development, the creation of that business is going to be a lot of movement, a lot of action, a lot of things to put into place. So, whatever it is that you're doing here, you need to have faith in whatever you are doing. And keep in mind that the goal is peace of mind. So, try not to overdo that. Yep. So we have the card of trust here, faith in the power of the universe, and that comes as a reinforcement to faith and the star. Okay, this is basically what these cards are about. I really sense answered prayers here. This is something that you've been asking the universe for, that you've been asking the divine for a long time. And the universe is answering. The universe is giving to you that thing that you asked for. And then we get the stillness, which is the Four of Swords. And this might also be that whatever it is that you're trying to bring into your life, that you're trying to achieve, requires a more gentle approach, a more passive approach. Like, I asked the universe for it, and the universe is going to do its thing. All you have to do is wait patiently, peacefully, not driving yourself crazy on whether or not you're going to get it, but having faith that it's coming, that your prayers are being answered, and that the universe will respond accordingly. But yeah, this requires a more passive approach. So if you have been trying to manifest a partner, to be in a relationship, or to start a business, to grow your business, or something very significant like that, this is a great time to ask the universe and the divine for it. Set intentions, set strong intentions. And if you are a magic worker, do a spell. Definitely do a spell to manifest love, to manifest partnership. Ask the universe, ask the divine, and then wait. Wait patiently for that manifestation. Trust that your prayers are being answered, at least heard, and that they will be answered. This is the opportunity for you to manifest that partner that you so desire, for whatever it is. Surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. And we come back again to faith. We go back to faith. We go back to trust. Okay, you have the star here. So this is definitely, yeah, I can definitely feel here manifestation here. Ask the universe, ask the divine, ask your angels, your ancestors, your guides, whatever form the universe, the divine takes for you. Ask them for that partner. In love, in business, in whatever, just ask for that partner. Trust in you will receive. You need to surrender the fear that your prayers will not be answered, that you won't get what you asked for, that whatever you get is not going to be what you wanted, or whatever is best for you, because you will get it. I really feel like you will. But you do need to trust, because after a lot of movement, after taking those baby steps, putting that request out to the universe, which is your moment of action, then you need to find peace in the waiting, in uncertainty, in that liminal space of in between, because you don't get what you ask for the day that you ask for it. It's very rare that something like that would happen. So there is definitely going to be a liminal space between the asking and the receiving. So have faith, do the thing, and then wait to receive it. I really feel like you're gonna get it. But you need to let go of the fear of not getting the thing. So, I hope that this brought you something of value. Do remember that even though the energy of setting intentions and planting the seeds, doing these manifestations, is a lot stronger over the next 2 weeks, every new moon opens up a portal of 6 months that closes with the full moon on the same sign. Okay, so these won't happen overnight, but it will happen. So just give it time, okay? This manifestation may take somewhere around 6 months to really come to fruition, but if you do the thing, if you listen to the universe and what it's asking from you, then I really think you will get it, okay? If these brought you something of value or helped you in any way, please like and subscribe. It would really help my channel. I have a lot more content like these coming in the future, so I would love to have you around for that. And if you would like to support me as a creator, I have my coffee link in the description box. It is never expected, but always appreciated if you could leave me a tip. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.